Hello friends, I'm Chi. Hope you all are doing well today. Senator Natasha speaks out, tells Nigerians the rugged truth, that secret that you guys never knew about. She's now spilling the beans. Oh boy, spitting fire at the same time. I wonder what will happen to the political career of Senate President Akpabio. Oh boy, and how would the family be feeling, especially the wife and children? God, this is disgracing. Well, it's not coming from my mouth, but from her own very mouth. Guys, listen. You see all those married men? I will play guys the video. Hold on. I will play the video. See, listen. All those married men that are friends to your wife. Be careful, oh. Some of them are not just ordinary friends, so they might be having interest in your wife, in that your girlfriend. So be careful. Even single guys are suspects. Guys, watch the video.
To you alone, or if this is a particular trend?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to explain that.
Yes.
Yes. So many people do not know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to speak my own truth, and the Senate President is allowed to counter that. It all started on the 8th of December, 2023, which was a day before his birthday and my birthday. We are birthday mates. We were all in Akpabio because he had a big fanfare in the stadium. Myself, my husband, and a few of his close friends, we went to Akpabio. And at first, we were at Ikot Ekpene. We were in his house in Ikot Ekpene. Then we all moved to his house in Uyo, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us. Just three of us were walking around from room to room. He showed me the beautiful interior. This was done by this, by that. This designer here, he bought this from. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I noticed that he hastened his pace while still holding my hand. And my husband was behind, still on his phone, but he was catching up whenever he could. And then he got to this particular sitting room, and he said, do you like my house? I said, of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste. He said, now that you're a senator, I'm going to create a time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it. At that point, I just pulled away and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. But then my husband now, when I turned around, I saw my husband was already near me. And the way my husband looked at me and looked at him, I was beginning to wonder, did he hear part of that inciting statements or not? And then the Senate President, too, I saw that he also had that thought, like, did my husband hear the invitation to treat or not? So then the Senate President now said, oh, by the way, let me show you my chapel. He has a chapel in his house as well. So while we were going to the chapel, we walked in silence and all. So that evening, before we left the Senate President's house at about 11 midnight to the 4 points in Ikot Ekpene. And my husband asked me, Natasha, what did the Senate President whisper to you? What was he telling you? I thought, should I tell him that he was speaking about bringing me in here at a special time for us to have a good time? Or should I just kill it there, wrap it as if there was nothing? Because tomorrow was a big day. I know how much my husband adores the Senate President. He loves him as a brother. My husband would do anything to support him. So I told my husband, nothing. I can't remember what I created, but I just gave him some words to manage, to mask what was said. When we laid in bed, I looked to my right, and my husband wrapped his arms around me, and he said, my love, you can't tell me anything. What did the Senate President tell you? Again, I was like, don't you believe me? I said, nothing. Nothing. Moreover, it's my birthday in a few minutes. Let's just be happy. Then my husband told me he doesn't want to see me travel out of the country alone, and I should not go to the Senate President's house because he has a guest house where many senators do go there, after office to get approvals and all that. So I told him, okay, no problems. That was it. I thought that was going to be the end. But then, in February, I wanted to move a motion. I wanted to move a motion for the investigation on the ills of corrupt practice in Ajakuta Steel Company. I listed that motion 5 times. It was the 6th time that it was listed on the order paper that was approved. Many senators can testify to that. Each time the motion is listed, just before he takes it, he will say, oh, Senator Natasha, we can't take this motion because the board of the Senate does not accommodate it. Or he will speak on others and then let it drag so that just before my motion is taken, the time will be well spent and won't. So he kept on doing that. I went to him in his office. And I said, Senate President, you know how important this Ajakuta Steel Company to me is. You know how important it is to my people and to Nigerians. I've noticed that you have stepped down this motion. As a matter of fact, a number of senators told me, go and see him and plead with him so that he would take it. I was like, sir, please, why can't you take this motion? It's very important. It's been listed. Then it was listed the third time I stepped down. He then said, Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me and make me happy. At that point, I said, sir, I'll pretend that I didn't hear this. He said, well, the ball is in your court. I left his office, and when I got home, I told my husband, I didn't tell my husband what happened. I just told my husband, please, can you speak to the Senate President to allow my motion scale through? I think I also spoke to the DSP, to the leader, Senator Pemi. I spoke to a number of senators that they should please intervene and allow him to laugh. I never told them what happened. My husband had to take a trip to London. Then the Senate President traveled to London. My husband met with the Senate President in London and pleaded with him, let my wife take this motion on Ajakuta. That is very important to her.
Okay. All right, Senator Natasha.
Said, okay, that he did not take it because he was protecting me. Hold on, please. He didn't take it because he was protecting me. Protecting me from what? Anyway, at the time the motion was taken, it was the Deputy Senate President, His Excellency Barao, that actually sat. The Senate President stood up and walked out. So it was Senator Barao that actually took it.
All right, Senator Natasha.
And from there, many other incidents happened.
Yes, Senator
Let's
Natasha.
Talk about the nightclub.
Yes.
Hold on, let's talk about the nightclub incident.
Professor Kila is going to ask you a question. I'm so sorry to have to interject here, but I just want to mention that, and I'm glad you gave the caveat at the beginning of your statement, that this is your side of the story, and the Senate President has the right to defend himself or to counter what happened between you privately. So what I assume, or for what you're saying, is that what happened last week Thursday began from a private conversation, and then you have felt like you've been maligned as a result of you not agreeing to certain propositions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
what has happened? You know the story of when a student keeps being failed.
Yes.
Please, let me say this, Ayo. You know the situation we see in universities whereby a student is continuously being failed just because she has not slept with the lecturer. That's what I've been facing, in simple terms.
Thank you. Professor Kila.
That is what I have been going through.
Thank you very much, Professor Kila.
Now, moving to, should I speak?
So you see, this is why some people would prefer their wives to be full-time housewife. Just stay at home, don't worry. I'll be working, making the money. Because they don't want things like this, stories that touches the heart, to happen to their wife, where another man will be helping them to service their wife. They'll be thinking their wife is at work, not knowing that their wife's oga have put their wife on top table, benching, you know. It happens, so these things happens, you know, where they'll be benching people's wife inside office. Remember the case of Balthasar, that man, Balthasar, the way he was busy knacking people's wife, people's girlfriend in his office, on top of his table, office chair, office toilet, everywhere he was knacking them. So well, I know by now many people start suspecting those friends, those people, those men that call themselves their wife's friend. You know, those men that their wives normally say, "Oh, he's my friend, my business partner, my colleague at work." Many men will start suspecting. Come on. Hey, if a whole Senate President could be toasting a fellow senator, someone's husband, someone's wife, someone's wife, is your own wife safe at workplace? They'll start thinking, are you sure this my wife or guy where they call him for phone all the time? You sure say you know they won't knock my wife, or you don't already they knock him? I don't even know. This thing have exposed a lot of things, so many men will start watching their wives carefully, checking their phones to know whether Ogama they toast them, or Oga don't already knock them. If you want to know better, check your wife's bank account. Tell her to bring her statement account for 5 years. Bring your statement of account. Let us see who have been sending you money. If you see the Oga's name appearing all the time, or colleague name appearing all the time, Oh, pastor's name appearing all the time in the statement of account. Then you start questioning things. Women do the same thing. Tell your men, bring your statement of account. Let me see the girls you have been wiring money to. You see, if you see particular names of girls appearing all the time, it could be that one or two or three of them are his side chick. The ones that he's already benching with them or planning to bench them. Anything is possible. So, well, you've heard her. She has said everything. I don't need to add or remove anything. It came from her very mouth, her own very mouth. So she wants to tell Nigerians this is the rugged truth. So let him come and speak out. Let him say his own side. Will the Senate President come and speak? He will not do that, of course. Where will he start from? When there are evidence. The husband of this woman is already a witness, you know. So, well, I hope they will settle their problem, their differences, you know. A man can lose guard once and want to toast and knock other pickles. Sometimes too, some ladies, some girls, women will want to equally test other cucumber aside from their husbands. So people can fall into temptation. So it's part of life. Temptation is part of life. But the main thing is, when it comes, try to fight against it. Hold yourself. Don't follow, because if you fall, you might be disgraced like this as a man or as a woman. Well, it's all right. So, checkmate yourself. So, people in marriage, checkmate yourself. Somebody will help you to do that job that you don't know how to do in the other room. Whether it's a man or a woman, checkmate each other. And also satisfy each other very, very well. Because if you fail in satisfying your partner, whether it's a man or a woman, somebody else out there will help you. You see, for this Natasha, you can tell very well that the husband is satisfying her all around. The man is a good man, so that's why she cannot do anything of such with the senator, Senate President. No, she can't do that. Because she has money, the husband too have money. Everything is all right. And the husband is really loving her and taking care of her, so she cannot cheat. Some women will jump at it and say, oh boy, Senate President, they toast me, oh boy. Since my husband, they lose God anyhow. Omo, make her they collect from here. Now, no be to knock. He go knock me. I go they collect money, contracts for my people, you know, jobs everywhere, connections. Well, it's all right. She tried, Sha, but I don't know what will happen to her. Let her be careful. Politics is dangerous. So that something bad will not happen to her. Or maybe the man might end up killing her own political career. You never can tell. So let them be careful. Let them try to settle their differences. All right, guys. So you tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.